Hey, do you want to hire writers but have no idea what to do and don't want to waste your money? Stick around this video and I'll explain everything you need to know about hiring writers. You're going to have to put a proposal up on a job board, whether Upwork, ProBlogger, iWriter. iWriter I don't really recommend. Upwork's where I found all my writers and I'm able to get good quality even spending 0.01 cents. So I'm just going to quickly go through my proposal. Immediately in the title it's just like a blog post. You have to explain what you need. Because I have a gaming blog, The Gaming Man, all you have to write is content SEO writers needed for a gaming blog. And ideally you want to write how much you're going to pay. So if you're paying 2 cents a word, mention 2 cents a word. In my opinion, you should always hire writers that are either passionate or have a strong understanding of the topic you're hiring for. So gaming, I only hire gamers, or at least people who know what they're talking about. Straight away, if you ever read a blog article where the person clearly doesn't know what they're talking about and they're just reading something from Google and they don't have any of their own experiences, this translates very badly as a reader, and Google will penalize content that's just generic and you can tell they don't have a deeper understanding. Looking for passionate blog writers who ideally have an interest in gaming, but it's not a requirement. You want something like 200 words, something like that, but stick around and I'm going to explain the secret ninja tip that significantly improves the quality of writers you'll get in your proposal. So just explain who you are. Like I say, I'm a website owner who wants a writer who creates helpful, engaging blog content with an understanding of SEO. Mention how much you're going to pay them, obviously, and mention how many articles. Why would they work for someone where they get one quick job? Whereas if you can say, I'll give you 10 to 20 articles a month, obviously it's better for them. This is the secret ninja tip that I heard in the Project 24 forum. What you want to do is in the middle of your job proposal, you want to put a secret word or phrase that the writer would have to repeat in the proposal. My one is called Heady One. So to provide you read this description, mention the 2 words Heady One you apply. Heady One is a British rapper. This is a brilliant secret ninja tip because the amount of proposals you get where the person just wants a quick buck and you can tell that they don't care about your website or what you're doing and they just want to get money. I want to make them become a jewel in the rough. Like most of my writers, I've probably outsourced 40, 50 articles and I have a relationship with the writers. I feel like I know them. Whereas if you just get someone who's just in and out for a quick buck, you're going to get worse quality. They're not going to be able to intellect in your website properly and it's going to be pretty awful. So if these tips helped you, please remember to like and subscribe for more money making online tips. So then you have to pick your writers. You'll see in Upwork or any other thing, you can review your proposals. Immediately, you're going to tell what level of English they have. If you can tell when someone doesn't have good English in the reply, you can tell. Obviously, because I'm paying very cheap, I'm only paying $10 per 1,000 words, I'm gonna get a large spectrum of people who are pretty terrible English. They read your proposal, which is not that long, bearing in mind it should only be 200 to 300 words, and they don't put the secret word. In my opinion, that's a red flag. But at the same time, one of my writers, he didn't write the secret word in his proposal. So it's not necessarily true, but I think as a general rule, if someone doesn't have the time or cannot be bothered to read 200, 300 words and just pick out that secret answer, you don't really want to be writing for them anyways. You know what I'm saying? So after you pick your writer, this is very important. You want to provide them with useful information to help them write your art. So I'll give a little PDF. I give a little link to Google Docs where this is important, where I give them a YouTube video where I'm explaining the process, how I want them to write. Because if you just tell them and you give them the H2 heading, you just give them any other article, you're highly likely to get a crappy article that has nothing to do with what you want. So make sure you take the time and explain what you want them to write. Because all my writers have improved a lot, but initially they weren't that good. But this is a fantastic process because if I notice a common trend of what the writers don't understand, or there's some things that in that specific video I didn't explain to them, I can improve the video for subsequent new writers I get and just improve my process, make it better, better, better and better. And eventually, hopefully, my training will be so good, my output of writers will just be that much better. And then you want to give a template article. So this is the article that you want them to refer to. It doesn't have to be too complicated. You can just put it on an unlisted video on YouTube. The only way that they can view the video is if you send them a link. So in this video, it's important. You want to go over with a fine-tooth comb. What video would you love to have had to fast track your journey into blogging success? So if with this video, you want to make it as helpful as you can. It doesn't have to be too long, 5-6 minutes, but just pack it with as much helpful information for your writers to understand and grasp. Now, would they watch the video? You don't know for certain, but then you have to know where in the proposals, you have to guess, is this the sort of person who's going to read this, watch this video, absorb all this information and write the big blog post that they can. This is why I like to spend less money, because there's an opportunity. These people in other countries, like a lot of my writers from Pakistan, the one from Malaysia, because $10 to them is a reasonable amount of money, they're grateful for the work. And if I can give them consistent money, you know what I mean, they'll repay it back in time and effort and dedication to become better writers. All you do is you select one of your writers, and Upwork have something called a milestone system. So instead of, if you want them to write 100 articles, for example, you can give them a certain amount of money for a certain amount of articles at a time. So if you give them 10 articles in a month, for example, they only get paid for those 10 articles. In Upwork, the only time the writer gets paid is when you release the funds. So let's say you're spending $30 on 2 articles. You release the $30 to escrow. This is like a third-party broker, and your writer's only gonna get the money when you're satisfied with the work and you release it. Escrow is the same payment platform that I use to sell my websites. If you want to know how to sell your website in 2021 and make the most money possible and not pay 15% to no one called Empire Flippers, please take a look at the video. Add a milestone, and in here you want to put in just your H2 headings. You want to be as specific as possible with your H2 headings. So if you're outsourcing something that's 1200 words, 1300 words, every little subheading, you give it to them. You don't let them find their own subheadings, because if you don't understand SEO, all subheadings should answer a Google search query, not random bullcrap. Because I gave one of my writers who's good, she's good, the article, are SCUF controllers worth it? And SCUF controllers are basically a controller for PlayStation 4 that is like super advanced. But then in the article, she did her own H3 heading answering what is a SCUF controller and can you fix a SCUF controller's joystick. That's the problem when people aren't trained with a really comprehensive course like Project 24. If you don't know what Project 24 is, it's the course that gave me everything and taught me everything I know about making money online. Please do me a favor, take a look at the link in the description, and I can guarantee it will change your life forever. And you don't understand the search query. If someone's searching, are SCUF controllers worth it? Obviously they know what it is. You wouldn't say, is a 4K TV worth it? What's a 4K TV? What's 4K? They know what 4K is, because that's why they want to buy it. But that's the little distinction that you're going to have to explain the writer. Give your writer as much guidance and as much help and assistance as you can, so they can complete work to the best of their ability. And lastly, you just have to rinse and repeat. This, you get better at training writers. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is making sure that initially your videos are good. They have to be as good as they can. You got to give them as much guidance as you can, so you get a better return of investment of your time. Now, your writers do improve. Like, I have 3 writers right now and they're getting better every time. But sometimes I'm still not necessarily disappointed, but sometimes they don't produce work that is up to my standards sometimes. But then I have to take this personally. Don't take it as them. I have to take it as me. I have to take it as it's my guidance. It's my help that isn't up to scratch. As a quick recap, so number 1 is you write your proposal, and the secret ninja tip is you put a secret word that they have to write in their proposal to prove that they read it. Number 2, you pick your writers. Again, it's pretty easy to tell who has a sufficient level of English and who can write. But really, the only way you're gonna know is give them one test article, because you can be amazed. My first $10 that I spent, before I spent $25, it was better quality than the $25 article, the $10 one. So you can be surprised. So give them a test. The only way you're gonna know how good they are is the first article they write. But I remember giving some guy from Nepal who had bad English in his proposal. I gave him a chance and it was useless. I had to rewrite all of it. So do your due diligence. 3, provide them with helpful resources in a Google document. This should be the video that you create yourself. There should be a PDF quickly explaining whether that's Project 24 PDF or your own PDF, and a model article that they can refer back to. Give them, most importantly, give them every single H2, every single H3. From now on, I'm going to give them everything, as much guidance as they can get. 5 is just rinse and repeat. If any of these tips helps you, please like and subscribe for more making money online tips. In 2021, my #1 goal is to achieve $10,000 a month. And in April, I'm moving to Medellin, Colombia. So please like and subscribe to follow my digital nomad journey. And if you want to see why exactly this blog post was so trash and what I would have done to improve it, it was actually ranked #1 in Google. Please take a look at the video. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Peace.